you to math class, and today we're going to talk about writing your statements and your hypothesis based on your graph. So let's go to my graph and let's look at this. So here is my data, and I added some data from the year 2000s and for the VCRs in homes, and I made that up just so we could see a real clear distinction. Then I created a graph, and you can see that the graph is not on this spreadsheet, but I put it in a new separate sheet. I have a photo in the background, and now I've got to make a statement about this graph, and then I'm going to write a hypothesis, which is going to be why I think the graph looks the way it does. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a Word document and type my information so that it can catch any grammar mistakes or spelling errors, because spelling and grammar count. Well, look, I wrote my statement. First of all, look, see the red? I forgot a space, so I'm going to go in there. The statement is just what the graph says. And in mine, you notice that VCRs were declining in homes of 100. So I wrote, in the graph representing the number of VCRs in 100 homes, it showed a slight increase in the homes that contained a VCR in the 90s. There was a drastic drop-off in ownership of VCRs in the year starting with 2000. So that's a statement about the graph. It's one or two sentences, maybe three, that you write. Then I write the hypothesis. The hypothesis is why you think that happened. What happened to make VCRs drop off? And this is a hypothesis. You're telling me what you think happened. Okay, it's an educated guess. So here's what I wrote. I believe that the ownership of VCRs increased in the 90s. Oh, now what does that mean? It means I spelled it wrong. So right-click on it, 90s. So it comes up and it tells me, replace it. Because video store rentals became popular and families started watching movies at home together. The drop-off, there's a space problem, that occurred in the year 2000 could be reflected in the change of technology. More people started buying DVD players versus VCRs. The quality of the picture was better. So there you go. Now what do I do with that? Once I've done a spell check, which I'll go up here and do review, and I hit spelling and grammar, and it tells me I'm okay. Now I'm going to highlight this and hit Control-C. I'm going to go down to my Excel, and then see, I've created a spreadsheet that says Bibliography Hypothesis Statement. So I'm going to open up my part. I'm going to type statement. And then I'm going to hit Control-V. And there's my statement. Now I'm going to do the same thing for my hypothesis. I'm going to go back to my Word document. I'm going to highlight, clicking and dragging, Control-C, go back to Excel, and I'm going to go back into the cell, Control-V. Now I have to give myself credit. So my bibliography gives credit to where I got the information. I'm going to check my spelling. Now to do that, I got this out of our math book, the regular math book, Math 6 and Math Honors book. But I'm just going to show you an example, and you need to remember how to do this. If you got your information from the World Almanac, you need to remember how to do this. You put in quotations your title. U.S. meat production and consumption, that's this chicken and beef consumption, right? Remember you saw this graph the other day. You put that in quotations. You put a period at the end. This states the years that I'm looking at, 1940 to 2002. Then you write World Almanac and Book of Facts, and you underline World Almanac and Book of Facts. And you write the 2004 edition, unless you used a different edition. If you use the internet, you have to write the URL in with the title. If you went on Google Images and you used an image, you don't need to Right, well, you don't need to give credit because it says a Google image unless it says specifically to give credit to it. Or if you want to be safe, you can put the URL for the Google images into it. And that is all you do. But you'll notice here, this is important, the bibliography. You want to give your source. Where did you get your source? So I would go back to mine, and I would type, if I got it in there, I would put quotations, and it would be VCR use in 100 homes. And I did it from, what was it? Let's check the data. 1991 to 2010. Through 2010, close quotations. And then, oh yeah, I have to put a period. And then I put underline, NAC 2004. And then I take off my underline. And then we'll go back and check what you had to do with the consumption. You have to put a period. Oh, World Almanac and Book of Facts. Period. And then I want to take off the underline. (2004) edition. So I want to get rid of this because I don't need the 2004 here. I want it here. And I don't want that highlighted underline, so I'm going to get rid of the underline. See how this works? And then I'm done. So good luck. Here's the information. You should now know how to write a hypothesis and a statement, or a statement first and then a hypothesis. And you could have 2 to 4 sentences in each one. Remember, all of spelling and grammar and everything counts. So good luck. If you have any questions, bring them to class.